Plaintiff Sheila Fromm says she and the defendant were friends in high school. They both became young parents, but went their separate ways after the defendant became a stripper. Sheila claims she and the defendant reconnected 10 years ago, but she's suing her today for failing to repay a loan. Defendant Tammy Williams admits that she became a stripper at 18, but insists she only did it to support her and her son, and as soon as she bought a house, she stopped. Tammy's countersuing because she claims Sheila defamed her and sent her harassing text messages.
Start with you.
Well, I've known Tammy for over 30 years. We met in high school. We were on dance line together.
Dance line is what?
They call it dance team now. They call it
ahead.
Dance team now, but you know, like there's cheerleaders.
Oh, got it. Okay, dance team. All right.
Yeah.
I missed so much in high school. I had no prom, no this, no graduation ceremony. Missed so much. They kicked me out so quick. Go ahead. So you and the two of you were fortunate enough to go to high school and be on the dance team together. Mm-hmm.
Yep, and then after high school, we both became young parents, and Tammy had the bright idea of becoming a stripper to support herself and her son. So we all kind of went our separate ways after that, and about 10 years ago, we reconnected on Facebook, and we got together a few times and went out, and then I invited her out one time, and this is when Tammy's flaky behavior started. She said she was going out, and she didn't show up.
Let me have some background from you.
Sure. I moved to Minnesota from Oklahoma. As a teenage girl, you're always trying to figure out who you are. I've always loved dance and music, so the high school had a kick line. I tried out for the kick line, and that's when I met Sheila. She was always supportive, always tried to give me great advice, very patient, understanding, no judgment. So at the age of 18, I had my son, or I got pregnant at 18, had my son at 19, and yes, I made the decision to become a stripper. I refused to be a young parent living off the system, so I had to provide for myself and my son, which I got in, bought my house, and stopped. So I did exactly what I had planned to do. Me and Sheila lost connection. We ended up connecting again through Facebook, like she stated. We did go out a couple times and have fun.
You're still able to take care of yourself and your family pretty well? What line of business are you in now?
I work for the City of Minneapolis Park and Rec, so I'm an admin assistant, and I also coach cheerleading. And I also run a side business, which it's called Standing Solid, for young youth that are in trouble because my son ended up in prison and he's still there. So I'm trying to get them to where they don't end up going into that life, which works because of my Park and Rec job.
I applaud you. Now, there's nothing wrong with an exotic dancer, but at some point they age out, for lack of a better term, and so I think at some point, sooner than later, perhaps while they're in there, are a lot of exotic dancers, at least when I'm told they all say that they're in school, but there are a lot who are preparing for a career after exotic dancers. So you're a good example.
I stopped at the age of 23. Once I bought my house, I was done.
So why are you suing her today?
Well, although she says that these jobs that she has now are working out for her, she fell into a financial bind and she needed help. She asked to borrow $1,200, and I agreed.
When was that?
December 12th.
Okay, she probably had to help her son or something. She's struggling with her son. Pardon?
I was buying a house. I bought a house.
On somebody else's money?
No, I bought my first house, sold that, and then I had to put $20,000 down on the house that I was purchasing this time, which I had that, but there were other fees that they added to the closing cost.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, and is that what she told you she needed it for?
Well, she was wire transferring some money to the person that she owed it to. She sent me a screenshot of 3 $5,000 wire transfers. 2 went through and 1 didn't. And so she needed $1,200, so I agreed
that's what she didn't went in. She went from exotic dancer to kiting checks. Go ahead.
I agreed to loan
showing her that she had money in an account. Then when it's time to get it, it's gone.
$1,200, yeah. She sent me a screenshot saying that she had $12,000 on hold at the bank, so we agreed on 10 days for her to pay me back because she had this money on hold at the bank. And the 10 days came and went, and she just kept, ever since, she's been I have 50 pages of text messages where she's made arrangements with me to come and pay me, and she doesn't pay me.
She's probably done that with 50 other people, too. Am I right or wrong?
You're wrong.
You over there smiling and grinning.
No.
You know the judge know what he's talking about. I don't go to strip clubs, but I sure know about what's happening out here.
Right.
And I know enough crooks to know what's happening. I know if they come to a community center in Detroit, they still part of my family and friends, and so I don't just reject the crooked ones. As long as you're not being crooked in my company, I can't witness a crime and not report it. So, your defense?
I did sign the promissory note, and
with 50 people.
No, just only Sheila. I did sign the promissory note, and I did have every intention on paying her back. I was waiting for the funds to clear into my account. I've had the same account for 20-something years, and they've never seen that large of amount. So the money that I ended up putting in there from pulling out of my retirement, they held some of it until it cleared. And I did, like I said, I had every intention on paying her back, but I felt like she was not patient. She wasn't the same person that she was in high school. She started doing like throw-offs and, sending little smart remarks about like my private life or my relationship, things that we had shared together. She started becoming...
Only to you. She didn't send that to the public. She didn't send it out on social media.
I don't think I did that.
Correct.
Okay. All right. As long as she didn't do that, that's a conversation between the two of you.
Correct.
And I have a text message here where she was appreciative of my patience, that I waited so long for her to pay me this money. So I don't know what she's talking about.
That is true. And I did tell her thank you, that I appreciated her help.
What's your counterclaim? You're suing her for harassment. What did she do to you?
The late night text messages, the throw-offs, the attack of my character, saying that she never thought that I was this person. I said, Sheila, you have known me for
So you want $1,200 because the woman said, I never thought you were the type of person that wouldn't repay me my $1,200.
No, it was the late night text messages. If I was out like...
All right, what time? Did you give her a curfew? Did you give her a curfew?
No, but I think
then it's not too late. If you didn't say don't text me or call me after a certain time,
right?
Late night ain't too late for you. There's probably not much. Don't start that now. You act like you don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mean that. I'm not throwing your past up in your face. So. You could do the same to me. I'm just having fun.
No, I know you're fine. I don't get.
All right. Well, you haven't told me enough yet, unless those messages came consistently at 3 in the morning and they were nasty. Any of that?
Well, yeah, they were.
How many times?
Maybe 7. But they were all consistent in the same day, and then there was another day where they were coming in at 5 o'clock in the morning. So. And I think mainly my situation is that I just...
Her and Trump, huh?
Yeah, you're...
right. That's where he has free time, 3 in the morning. Go to tweet. You Trump voter, that's where you get your stuff from. He tweets at 3, you tweet at 3. That's your only defense, is that she has tweeted you, text you at 3 a.m.?
Well, and the attack of my character, her, making side throw-offs about my relationship or saying that I was this person. She's never known me to borrow money from anybody, and I never would, because I'm not that person. I've always been an independent person. And I just felt like she did not give me enough time. I mean, when I asked to borrow the money, she knew my financial situation. And if she would have given me more time, I would have taken care of it.
And you have a note?
I do.
To indicate the amount and the time frame?
Yep.
And it sounds like you went beyond the time in which you were to repay.
Correct.
And there's no going beyond that unless she extended that time. Did she?
She did.
All right, but did she extend it in writing? Nope, she didn't amend the contract in writing, so even if she may have told you, that doesn't excuse you from a written contract. $1,200 is your judgment, and you haven't said enough for $1,200. The president would be bankrupt, and he's a billionaire if you got charged for tweets late at night. Have a good day. Your claim is dismissed.
It to go this far. I always felt like we had a good relationship. We've never had any issues over the 30 years, and I did have intentions on giving it back to you. I just wish you would have been a little bit more patient, but I also understand why you wasn't. Yeah. It was your money, so.
If you would have been doing anything, we wouldn't be here today.
I know.
I gave you plenty of chances. If you would have been paying something, I would have deviated from the agreement, but you just never came around and did anything.
I understand.
Except lie.
Right.